funny. Here we go.
Yeah, you come from a ski resort.
Kind of.
There's a lot of skiing in Colorado.
There's a lot of skiing in Colorado, but Denver isn't. It's kind of actually.
Thanks.
Denver's like a little bit far from where they all are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least like an hour and a half.
Yeah, but
So you all snowboarders.
I snowboard.
Yeah.
I was actually just snowboarding before we went on tour. But yeah.
I grew up in Colorado, but I honestly never really got into it too much. But other outdoor things like hiking and like snowshoeing and stuff like that is like really cool.
There's great hiking trails everywhere. No matter where you go, there'll be some path you can take. It'll give you some great views.
Are you gonna go to Austria as well, or Bavaria?
Not on this trip.
Not on this trip, but hopefully in October. I've been to Austria though. It's very beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're coming back in October for a longer tour, but I'll probably go to more places.
So how many tours have you done in the States?
This is our third tour as a band.
As this band, yeah. We've all been touring in all of our other bands for a long time, so.
Touring.
Can I buy some merch from you?
Yeah, we're doing an interview right now.
We'll be up there in just a moment.
Okay, then.
So I'm backstage at the Partisan Festival with the drummer of Vader, and they just had a show in the rain, but the audience was going. And hi, how are you?
Very good.
So you're from Britain.
Yeah. How did I join the band?
Yeah.
Well, I was playing in a band called Divine Chaos. I still play in them, and we were supporting Vader on tour. And a couple of years later, the drummer from Vader before me, a guy called Pavel, he quit, and he asked if I would be interested in auditioning, and I said I was. So I auditioned, and I got the job. That's it. Very simple.
So, how do you compose? Are you composing them on something like Guitar Hero on the PC, or just in the rehearsal room?
It's a mix. It's a mix. We come up with the plans normally on something like Guitar Pro or Logic or Cubase or something. Yeah. And then we make it more realistic, actually, in the rehearsal room. So it's a mix of playing and planning.
Do you get to compose guitars yourself?
I would be totally allowed to if I could be bothered, but I don't really. I prefer to stick to the drums. I'm not really a melody guy. I just like to hit stuff and play it really fast and really heavy.
So do you have classical drum training? Like jazz? They play very fast.
I studied at a music college called BIM. They have one now in Berlin as well, BIM Berlin.
Yes.
I studied at the one in Brighton, the original one. And so I studied everything. I did study everything, but for me it was more about how can I use that and play it in what I'm doing, which is mostly heavy metal stuff. But yeah, we did cover a lot of jazz and Latin and rock stuff. It was very helpful.
Yes. Can I ask you about your college something?
Yeah.
Because I come from a pirate radio station, and
okay.
So former pirate radio station. Our editorial bar is now public.
Okay.
And or how can I pay for becoming a songwriter?
Well, I mean, it's so if you're asking why pay to go to a fancy college like that,
yeah,
then The answer is really, it depends on your expectations. You shouldn't go into it paying to get famous or get a job, because that's not how it works. It's paying, I did it because I really wanted to study it, and I was lucky enough to study under some fantastic teachers that taught me they didn't teach me necessarily like loads of jazz or loads of Latin. They taught me the basics of practicing and technique and how to practice and teach myself. That's the most important lesson you can learn from that. And then the rest of it is going out and doing it yourself. Just because you're paying and going to a college and studying theory and studying technique, that doesn't mean you can't go out and also do it yourself. We were gigging and touring during that time that I was also at college. It's not a problem. In fact, it's encouraged, and it's important. So you gain practical experience and the theoretical knowledge, and that's what you should go into a college like BIM or Berkeley with the expectation of
Or
getting
the
out.
Beatles, Paul McCartney has a school as well.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You mean Brit school, or I don't know?
Yeah, they like a
Any school like that. It's
Yeah.
It's a mixture of theory and practice, and
What age were you?
I was normal university age. I was 18 when I started there, and I was 21 when I finished.
And now,
I am 27.
Okay, let's get one thing straight.
come on.
The last record came out last year. It's a record called The Empire, out on Nuclear Blast. It got very good reviews, I think, as far as I know. I only read the good ones, so. But I think it was very well received, and the material's going down really well live, and we're looking forward to finishing off this cycle of touring with this album by sort of the middle of next year. And
Okay.
then we'll get on and start the next one.
Sound. With what song did you start today?
We started with a song called Wings, which is it's an old one. It's from an album called Litany, which I think is 2000 or 2001. I can't remember exactly when it came out.
Are you, as a drummer, can you quote the? Do you have other sources of creativity, and do you write yourself?
Do I have other bands or?
Do you write lyrics for other bands, or here for Vader lyrics?
No. I mainly stick to drums, but I play drums in a lot of other bands, so I try and spread myself out and learn different things in each band, and bring that back into Vader's music. That's more how I do it. So it's all just about the drums for me, but I'm always busy playing and working with other musicians, so I do pick up other songwriting tricks and other little ideas that make their way into Vader.
So what is Wings about?
Sorry?
What's the song about?
Wings?
Yeah.
You'd have to ask Pete. I don't know. That song came out when I was 10.
Okay. Can you tell me about but you do discuss like the lyrics when
I don't discuss the lyrics. That's Pete. Pete normally does that. I sometimes correct the English a little bit, and that's it.
Okay, and so for the radio listeners, what theme has the last album?
So the last album is more to do with the state of affairs right now. There's the album's called The Empire, as I mentioned already, and there seems to be a lot of empiricism coming back with the US, with Britain walling themselves up outside of Europe, and this idea of returning to the days of empires seems to be quite a strong theme in today's politics. And there's it's causing a lot of wars and a lot of issues for people worldwide. So it's to do with really what's happening right now, and still is happening. It was happening last year when we wrote the album, and now it's still happening. So it's still relevant.
So do you use other bands the history to like wars from the past, like the First World War or the Egyptian Empire to build your lyrics, or is that do you have lyrics that are about these times?
It's about now mostly. There are one or two songs that use the imagery of earlier wars. You know, we got the Iron Crosses. Is a theme on the Iron Times EP. So there are some references to that, but it's all about making that relevant to now.
So you talk. Do you discuss the theme of how come people urge just for their empire and sit on it? How to get this drive for this?
Well, I mean, it's really like I've just said. You know, it's just a commentary on what's happening. It's not really. There's no, you know, there's no weird stuff. There's nothing. It's just this is what's happening. It's not, you know, there's no.
You're not the emancipator.
Who knows? You know, only people can do that themselves, free themselves from that shit. So that's not. We're not here to emancipate anyone necessarily, because I don't see any of us going to Syria and helping ship people out. But yeah, that's what the empire was about. Really, is about what's happening now.
Viva Presidente Trump, Proyera.
Do you believe in flux? That life is flux?
Can you clarify? I'm not really understanding.
That life is fluxus. That means that if the empire is now, that everything is now and nothing matters. But then probably not, because you do music. This album is about the empire, so you worry about it, so you do care.
Well, if you stand far enough away from the planet and view everything on a planetary level, then yeah, it's kind of hard to give a fuck about anything. But you know that. But that doesn't help either, really. Maybe nothing does matter, but that doesn't help or change the situation. We should still be working towards a better future anyway, and that's, you know, the only meaning we can get from life is the one we give it. And at the moment, we're doing a good job of fucking it up for everybody. So I think we just need to pitch in more. So basically, I understand that it might not matter in the grand scheme of things, but I think it's good to. I think it's nice to be nice.
Do you come from a cross punk, from a punkish background?
No, not even slightly.
Okay, but so you went straight into metal.
Yeah. I mean, I discovered metal before I was really interested in playing any musical instrument. So when I started playing the drums, the main thing was that I could play it in a metal band. So that was my interest. You know, my love of metal came before my love of playing music.
So what bands inspired you then?
Well, when I was a kid, it would have been bands like Slipknot, Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer. And then I started listening to more extreme stuff, like guys like Nile, Candlemass, Morbid Angel, loads of bands that are here right now, actually, who are playing at this festival. And yeah, it was really just a lot of trading extreme bands with my friends and stuff. And that's how I've ended up here, really.
Sound. So you're having a good time?
Yeah, totally. This isn't the kind of style of music that you do unless you're having fun, I think. It's too much hard work and it's way too much hard work if you're not enjoying it.
Okay, and did you? What's the name of the producer you got in for the last? Who produced the last album?
The last album was produced by the Wiesławski brothers at Hurt Studio in Białystok, and yeah, there's nothing to be said really about them. They're very professional. They're very good. They work really hard. They work as hard on making it sound as good as possible as we do, and playing as well as possible. So you know, there's nothing but respect and love for those guys.
Did the producer get to, or in the past, other producers help the band to develop your skills?
I don't know. That's more like a history thing with Pete. You'd have to ask Pete, because I don't know those kinds of ins and outs. Every album I've recorded with Vader has been with those guys. So, I mean, they've improved as we have. As we've got better at our instruments, they've improved as well. They still study production and the latest techniques and try and find new applications to get the bands they have sounding as big as possible. So we're totally satisfied with how everything's going. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have 15 minutes to go? Would you your music critics describe you as death metal musicians?
Yes.
I think I'm happy with the interview now.
Good.
And would you give me now a song from Vader I'm going to put on the air now?
Yeah, that would be Triumph of Death from the Vader album Tibia Igni.
What's the song about?
I think the title's fairly self-explanatory.
Okay. Sound.
This is Blood Soaked with Infestation.